GETTYPrime Minister Viktor Orban bucked EU rules and implemented reforms which have angered Brussels. Proud Prime Minister defied the bloc when his government held a referendum on the EU's ability to enforce rules, specifically on migrant quotas, on his country in 2016. More than a year on, the European Union is preparing to take Hungary, Poland and Czech Republic to court over their refusal to share the burden of the migrant crisis, which is costing the bloc billions. Italy is now overwhelmed as the front line of crossings from Libya, Africa. The European Commission, led by President Jean-Claude Juncker, has announced its intention to sue the trio. Hefty fines could be imposed on the three countries accused of non-compliance with the legal obligations on relocation. Tuesday, April 4, 2017, a migrant taunts Hungarian riot police as they fire tear gas and water cannon on the Serbian side of the border, near Rozsgépétárzágyártó. Hungary's foreign minister claimed the terror attacks across Europe over the last 2 years are a big justification for their refusal to take on migrants. He said, "The government rejects illegal immigration and mandatory settlement quotas, and will continue to fight for the interests and security of the Hungarian people. Our thoughts with regard to the nation, respecting traditions, border protection and security are totally different." Zágyártó stressed Budapest's interests are different from Brussels, but the EU, intent on creating a superstate, is refusing to allow the trio of nations to decide on their own rules. Brussels has bungled the migrant crisis, spending €100 on the Libyan Coast Guard, which has been repeatedly accused of being in cahoots with smugglers. The EU's refugee relocation scheme has been epically unsuccessful since its inception in 2015. GETTYPrime Minister Viktor Orban and the ruling Fidesz party refused to take on migrants under the program. Around 32,000 refugees have been relocated. Hungary and Poland have taken in none at all, while the Czech Republic has accepted just 12. Hungary will also be in the dock soon for breaching EU laws under NGO and education reforms. The country's ruling Fidesz party implemented new rules meaning any foreign university in Hungary must also be operating in another nation. For NGOs, any organization paid over €24,000 must officially register as a civic organization funded from abroad. It is believed the rule changes are directly aimed at Hungarian-born financier George Soros, founder of the Central European University in Budapest and owner of Open Society foundations including a number of NGOs. Juncker's commission claims the act disproportionately restricts operations. The EU's migrant relocation scheme has helped around 32,000 people out of more than 1 million. The commission found that the act in institutions operations and runs counter to the right to academic freedom. We will put forward all our possible arguments during the procedure at the EU court and we hope for a positive decision on our side, Mr. Zágyártó said. Other nations have argued the superstate mentality quashing policies and reforms in the East will give rise to right-wing parties. Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš warned over forcing his country to accept unwanted change. He said, "The EU has to understand that if it won't listen to our proposals, then the influence of extremist parties like Germany's AfD or Czech SPD will grow, whose strategy actually is to destroy the EU."